things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hey, how are we doing today? It's episode number 975. That's right, 975 of the Lead Pedal Podcast. And today we're going to tell you what's new. We got some big changes coming up. Going to tell you a little bit about our Lead Pedal tour coming up. We got some guests. We got some events. Got all kinds of stuff happening. And we just want to make sure you know about it. So stay with us, and we'll be right back after this. Hold on. Hey folks, you know that Bison raised their rates at the beginning of the year for owner-operators and for company drivers. And I gotta tell you, it has been so successful that they wanted to let you know exactly how much their drivers are making. That's right, they have significantly increased the base rates for their teams. So owner-operator teams can earn up to $360,000 per year. That's right, you heard me say that right, $360,000 per year. Company team drivers can earn up to $120,000 per year per driver. That's right, per driver. That's some big numbers, right? They have a wide variety of Canada-only dedicated team positions available for folks to choose from, and Bison has a steady freight to keep the teams moving. So if you want to significantly increase your base rates, then you want to make sure that you sign up for that. Now, Bison has also increased the base rates for owner-operators. Owner-operators running Canada only can earn up to $185,000 per year. They have a wide variety of Canada-only positions for owner-operators to choose from, and Bison has a steady freight to keep the owner-operators moving. So where can you learn more about all of these things? I mean, you know, $360,000 for owner-operator teams, $120,000 for company driver teams, and owner-operators running by themselves can earn $185,000 per year. Canada only. Folks, that is incredible. Well, the best place to go is to go to bisondriving.com. And while you're there, while you're talking to the team, would you let them know that you heard about it from the Lead Pedal Podcast? Hey, good luck there. You're going to make some great money working for one of the safest fleets in North America. All right, there you go. So let's get into our topics today and what we're doing as far as changes. We got lots of changes coming up. You're going to see lots of changes coming up over the next little while for sure. But let's start out with Lead Pedal Radio, because that's probably the biggest change we've got going. If you've been with us for a while, you've known that we've been on it's been coming up to 3 years now. That's right, 3 years. It'll be in August for Lead Pedal Radio, which is just crazy. We started in the middle of the pandemic, and it's still going strong. But what we've done is we did some surveys, and if you're part of our fan club, you probably saw them. We did some surveys. We talked to some people. We we're getting opinions of people of what they like, what they don't like. And one of the things we found out is that they wanted more live. What had happened is we'd become so busy scheduling and getting other shows and all of that we forgot the reason we started the radio part in the first place. So the radio part, so we've gone back to live, and that meant paring it back. So what does that mean for you? Well, LPR Live is still going to be there. We're still going to have our radio shows and our fan club show and all of that. But we are changing platforms. So we're changing a platform where we put all of our music, and we're changing it to another one called Mixcloud. And Mixcloud is a little different for a number of reasons. One, you won't be listening to just radio. I think a lot of people have their own radio stations. We found a lot of people aren't listening to it unless we were doing a specific show and doing it live. So this is the whole reason for going back to that. So we're going to be, we go into Mixcloud. We're going to do our radio show like you normally would. You can actually see us doing it because it's got camera capabilities. So you can see us doing it, you can comment. You know, if you're on live with us, you can comment and all of that. But the best thing is it stays there, and it allows someone to they can listen to it whenever they want. You can't download it, but you can listen to it whenever you want, which is really good, because that allows a lot of people. That's another thing people were saying is, how can I hear our show again? If somebody was on a show or they liked the certain music we were playing, and they said, how do we hear it again? And there was no way for them to do it unless we rescheduled it, and we had enough stuff other coming in. So what does that mean? That means that you can listen to shows whenever you want. They all stay up there unless we take them down. down. We've got them in playlists, so some people only join our Tropical Days show. Some people only join us for LPR Live. Some people only join us for the trivia. We understand everybody's got their favorite shows, just like they have a favorite host. So the shows are all on playlists that you can find them easily and pick the shows that are for you. And you can listen to older ones if you want. So if we record a show, it goes live, and after that, the recording stays up if we choose. It goes up there, and you can listen to it and go back at any time and listen to it. And the quality's been great. It's been really a good experience. So we're looking forward. We're trialing it through the month of April, and we've decided that we like what we're doing. It's actually going to save us some money as well, so that's never a bad thing. And now, the problem with that is that the other shows we had, like the WOW Show and Julia Matthews and her Not Your Child road safety show and all that kind of stuff, are not going to be part of the Lead Pedal Radio family. We'll still promote them. They're still good people. Some of them may elect to do their own shows and keep them going. So we had some that were stopping, like Trucker Radio, and we had the Truck Report Geeks. They just Trucker Radio ended after 17 years. That was nothing to do with ours. Truck Report Geeks found out how much work it can be, and so changed. And we had a few others that changed, and that's fine. People have things to do and can do that, but it allows us to not worry about scheduling anymore. It allows us to just have our shows there for the radio station, the ones we want to choose and put up there. It still allows us to go live more often, which is what we want, and it's been great. We've been trialing it. We've been having to figure out some computer stuff because it's different software, but we've got it all down to a science, or at least we're getting it down to a science. So that's probably the biggest change that we have, is the Lead Pedal Radio, and you're going to see that. So when are we cutting that off? Basically May 1st is when we're doing a switch. The official switch is probably going to be about the May 5th. That first weekend into May, we had a couple shows that are still producing, so they're going to send us shows up to that. We've tried to give everybody a change. We will be doing it. The 15th is the official date, but it'll be off before the 15th. So how do you find out about it? How do you get onto the new one? Well, you still go to Lead Pedal Radio. You can still click the player there. If you don't, you can do that. You can download the Mixcloud app if you want, which is an app that you can have, and you can see other people's shows and our show and all of that. And you can also go to, and our Lead Pedal Media app is still going to be there. And when you press on the radio player button, it's going to go right to Mixcloud or to our player device. So you're still going to be able to get to us the same ways you always have. You can listen to the shows the same ways you always would. But I think you're going to enjoy it's going to give us the ability to be live, because even on radio, when we're live, you don't see anybody, you only see the comments. So this is going to allow people to interact with us, which was the whole idea of starting Lead Pedal Radio when we started. It's supposed to be the entertainment and live version of the podcast. The podcast is still going on, and it's great. And I got to say, while I'm talking about the podcast will be hitting 1,000 episodes in June. In June, we're going to announce more about that because we've got some plans in the work. We will be celebrating that all year, but that's a big thing for podcasts, and we will certainly be letting you know more about that. That's going to include a lot of you fan club members for sure. So, all right, so there we go. So we've got the LPR, we've got the Lead Pedal Radio changes. So look for things to that first week of May is about the last time you'll see it on the old platform, and then we're going to switch over to the new platform probably the 1st of May and start using that exclusively. Well, we'll use it in conjunction with the old one for about a week or so, and then we'll flip the switch on the old one for sure. So keep an eye on that. Just before we get into guests, let me talk about the Lead Pedal Tour. We're going to do a Lead Pedal Road Tour this year. As you know, we do a tour every year. We started in the pandemic because there had to be some reason to get out of the house. So we started doing a Lead Pedal Tour back then. We did two called the Professionals the Highway Tour. Then we did our Lead Pedal Tailgate Tour last year. And this year we're going to do the Lead Pedal Road Show. And we're going to announce that more in June, but it is starting in May. And our first event in May is going to be at ExpoCam. So if you see us at ExpoCam in Quebec, Newcom's show there, that is where we're going to be. You'll see some stuff probably before that. You'll see an official schedule of where we're going starting June 1st. We have to figure some things out yet, so that's why we're kind of keeping it under wraps. So So that's where we are. That is the news that we've got. And we're still got our fan club going. We still got all kinds of stuff going. So it's all really good. Just wanted to let you know that we got those changes. Probably Lead Pedal Radio. If you've been a fan of Lead Pedal Radio, that's been probably the biggest thing. So just keep an eye out for that. And when we come back, we're going to get into some of the guests that we hope to have on the show this season. Hold on. Hey folks, are you looking to start your career in the truck transportation industry? Ontario Truck Driving School can offer you the training you require. They have been active in the industry since 1978 and have the widest range of training programs and services in the industry. Everything from truck training to heavy equipment. And you know what? Thousands of men and women have successfully obtained employment and began careers operating heavy equipment, trucks and buses with the help of job-oriented training from Ontario Truck Driving School. They work with industry leaders and government offices to make sure that the graduates are successful and complete their training properly. The trainers have years of experience in the industry and know how things work in the transportation and construction business. In fact, truck driving courses incorporate a session with Canada Customs officials, the Ministry of Transportation, and other industry partners to make sure that you are trained properly. This training gives you the advantage of starting your new career as a truck driver. So where do you go? They've got locations all throughout Ontario, and the best way to start is to go to otds.com and look under truck training. All right, there you go. So check out OTDS. They're one of the great schools here. Our LPR Live today, actually, that we're going to be talking about, a lot to do with school, so make sure you're at a good school. Hey, just to get you into some of the guests that we got coming up, and we haven't finished the official lineup as of the time that we were recording this, so there's still a few slots that we'll be filling up. But just let you know that here's some of the main guests from coming out in the month of May. We've got Nikki O'Cook. She's with CalStart, and she's very passionate about the environment. She's been in the trucking industry with tires, which I thought was pretty cool. She had a tire company, and she's going to be talking to us about electric trucks and some of the myths and debunking them, because California, as you know, is really big on electric trucks right now, and they're looking to make sure that they are the greenest state going. So she talks to us about that and some of the things that will be things that people are thinking about as far as electric trucks. We're going to be talking also about what happens when you get your load rejected in our Lead Pedal Q&A for this first week. And a lot of people are wondering what happens, if I got a load and I can't get rid of it, where do I take it? So we'll be talking to you about that. We got the Tandy Kenworth coming up as our first featured truck. That's that lime green truck you saw at Great Canadian. In fact, we featured it a couple years ago, and we're featuring it again. We saw it up last year for sure, so that'll be a good one. If you've never heard of SoundSkins, we're going to be talking to the folks over at SoundSkins about how you can make your truck quieter. That's right. These are skins that go on underneath your interior to make your truck very silent, almost, to where you're not hurting yourself with noise coming in from outside. So that's going to be an interesting conversation. That's episode number 980 in May 8th. We'll be discussing our Turn Back Tuesday, first flatbed trailer. We'll be talking about that in episode number 981. And we talked to the people over at Geolabs. We talked to David Lady. Now, David is also a veteran, but he started up a company called Geolabs, which helps on the agricultural side for ELDs. It was very interesting. I did not realize that ELDs had their own set of regulations. The agriculture side had their own set of regulations as far as ELDs goes. So we're going to talk to him about that. I thought it was pretty interesting. Hey, what do you do when you're finished driving and you want to get out in the industry, but you don't want to drive anymore? We'll be talking about that in our Lead Pedal Q&A on May 11th, and episode number 983. We got a great Freightliner cab over that we saw up at Big Rigs called Out of Gas Garage. You got to love that one. Anyway, make sure you check that out. That's going to be episode number 984. We'll be talking about that for sure. We're going to be talking with Ilya Radetzky. Now, he's with Hydra Energy, and he's a Canadian supplier that is looking to improve improve your fuel mileage on your fleet. And this is something that's very interesting. Of course, everybody is looking for ways to improve their fuel mileage and the environment. So we talked to Ilya about how that's going to work, and it was a really interesting conversation. Episode number 987, we're going to give you a recap of the recent National Recruiting and Retention Symposium that happened at the end of April. That's going to be a good one here, and a lot of exciting information came out of that one. We've got hot topics coming up in episode number 990, and we also have we're going to be featuring the Ontario Truck Driving School and Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. They're revealing a new trailer. We're going to cover that event for you to find out all about that. And then we also have some coverage from the Hamilton Transportation Club's having a special event early May, and we'll be covering that. Now, we still have some more slots in there to fill in, but we didn't have it all solidified. So those are our main topics coming up. And once we get the rest of it, by the time you see this out, the full episode will be done, but we record a little bit ahead. So there you go. So, all right, we got guests underway, and if you stay with us, we're going to get back into events. I just want to tell you a little bit about the PMTC. That's right, the Private Motor Truck Council of Canada is holding their annual conference, and that's in June. It's going to be at the in the Hamilton Convention Center, and we're looking forward to being part of that. That's going to be a big thing. So stay with us for that. We'll get more details, but you can learn more and register at pmtc.ca. All right, let's get into some of the events here. These are some great events that we've got coming up. A lot of people have started up their shows again. Good to see. Here's the event list for you, starting at May 1st. And of course, you can see all of these events in the show notes for this episode if you want to go and click through to any of those any of the great events that are going on. All right, we've got the Hamilton Transportation Club. They're having their spring address May 4th at the Waterfront Banquet Center in Hamilton, Ontario. You can register at hamiltontransportationclub.com. We got Large Cars and Guitars Truck Show. That's right, that's the one put on by our good friend Mr. Tony Justice, and that'll be on May 6th in Kodak, Tennessee. You can go to largecarsguitars.com. And of course, the International Road Check is happening on May 16th to 18th, 2023. If you want to find out what they'll be focusing on and all of that, then go to cvsa.org. Woodstock Truck Show is back. We weren't sure if they were coming back, but they announced late May 27th, 2023 in Woodstock, Ontario. You can go to the Woodstock Truck Show. It's a great show. They help out Special Olympics. Scotty and his team do a great job. Unfortunately, we'll be in Quebec that weekend, so we won't be at the show, but hopefully you'll be able to make the show. It's a good show in woodstocktruckshow.ca. Hey, PMT Spring Golf Tournament's happening May 30th, 2023, and you can find out about that at pmtc.ca if you'd like to go into that. Ontario Antique Truck Spring Show, that's right, June 3rd, 2023, hosted by the NCH Carriers and Cam Hiltz, and that's going to be in Queensville, Ontario. Always a nice drive up there, so go check it out. For those out of you out west, the CITT conference is happening June 4th to June 6th, 2023 in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. The early bird deadline for Canada's logistics conference is April 17th. You probably missed it if you're listening to this, just learning about it, but you can read the program details and register at citt.ca/conference. PMTC is having their annual conference in Hamilton, Ontario, June 21st to 23rd. PMTC.ca. We will be there covering that event for you, so make sure that you check it out. If you're a private fleet, you need to be at that conference. That is for private fleets or anybody that works with private fleets, the Coca-Colas, Tim Hortons of the world. You really want to be in there. They got awards, they got everything. They have the Dispatcher of the Year. Lots of stuff goes into that one, so we're excited to find out about that one. Trucking Network's having their Big Rig Expo. That's right, they went out to Calgary, Alberta, June 24th, 2023. You learn more about that at the Trucking Network events.ca. Teeswater Fairgrounds in Teeswater usually has an antique spring truck show. We haven't heard about that. River City Truck Show's not going on as far as I know. And then, of course, we've got Clifford July 1st to July 3rd. Looking forward to getting back up. We missed that last year. So go to GreatLakesTruckClub.com is where you can go for that. 519 Loud and Proud. This is a wonderful show just north of Orangeville, Ontario, in Mono, Ontario. And that's at July 7th, 2023. Go to 519loudandproud.com. Unfortunately, we're not going to make that show this year just due to due to we're away. We're going to be heading down towards the Walcott show, but that is a great show. Let's see, Walcott Truckers Jamboree. That's right. That's where we're going to be, July 13th to 15th, 2023. Go to iowa80truckstop.com/trucker jamboree. Looking forward to that one. Shenandoah will be playing on the Friday night, so that's going to be pretty cool. Great Canadian Truck Show, Grand Bend, Ontario, July 22nd, 23rd. Go to facebook.com/Great Canadian Truck Show. We will be out there for that. It's at the Grand Bend Motorplex. Great show put on by Kevin and his team. So looking forward to that. Notre Dame du Nord, August 3rd to August 4th, 2023. You can go to lrodeo.com to learn more about that. New show, Grey County Truck Show, is going to be up at Southgate, Ontario, August 11th to 13th, 2023. Southgate, I believe, is kind of up towards, up north a little bit, towards Clifford area. They've got a Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/events/Grey County Truck Show. Athens Truck Show announced they're going to be happening this year again, August 25th to 26th in Brockville, Ontario. I might try to get out to that one. I've never been to that show. I hear it's a really good show. That's at antiquetruckclub.org. And St. Thomas Big Rigs National, that's been happening August 18th and 19th, 2023. We will be there for that, so you can go to stracewaypark.com. Truck Driver Appreciation Week is happening in Canada, September 5th to September 10th. We're going to be at Bison one of those days, so listen to us live on our new place called mixcloud.com. Just look at Lead Pedal Radio. Let's see, Truck Driver Appreciation Week in the United States is September 12th to 17th. Seaforth usually has a truck show somewhere in that area as well, usually on the 10th, I think. And Special Olympics Ontario Truck Ride, September 16th, 2023. We will be there as well. That's in Paris, Ontario, and that's at truckride.ca. The Trucking Network in Brampton is having another show September 23rd, 2023, at the Pearson Convention Center in Brampton. One of their biggest events, the Trucking Network events.ca, and Bridging the Barriers, Women's Trucking Federation of Canada in Mississauga, Ontario, September 25th to 26th, 2023. We'll be there for that as well. That's going to be a good one. PMTC is having their fall golf tournament on September 26th, 2023, so learn more at pmtc.ca. And 10-4DC has their trucks display at the National Monument in Fredericksburg, Virginia, usually around the end of September. Driver Check usually has their Fitness for Duty Summit around early October. You can learn more about drivercheck.ca. Haven't seen a date for that yet. Fleet Safety Council is having their annual conference on Friday, October 27th, 2023. You can go to fleetsafetycouncil.com. There's the Atlantic Truck Show, atls.ca. Don't have a date for that yet. ISB Me and Breakfast usually are in Milton at the end of October. ISBglobalservices.com. Haven't seen anything for that. Or for the Bordertown Working Truck Show and Shine. Or Road Today usually has a job fair from trucknews.com somewhere in the November area. So there's the list. Feel free to go to our the notes on our podcast episode and click through the links if you'd like to see more information on the show. That's what we need to do. All right, my friends, that brings us to the end of another episode. We got lots coming up for the month of May and even more for the month of June. So make sure you stay with us. Thanks for listening. Hey, you know what? Follow us on our social. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find me on LinkedIn. We're also on TikTok. And of course, we're now on Mixcloud.com as far as our Lead Pedal Radio. So check that out. Join the fan club because you're going to be missing some great events. We're celebrating 1,000 like never before. So make sure you join us. And that's going to come up very, very soon. All right, my friends, we'll see you later. Thanks for being on the show, and we'll talk to you later.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.